listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio or email the show via the Absolute Radio website, your weapon of choice.
You know, sometimes you sound like you've forgotten my name. This week you sounded like you were surprised I'd shown up. And Alan Cochrane, like I thought we'd booked somebody else.
I think that was excitement.
Oh, good. Good to see you.
I love your little moments, you two.
What little moments? There was
Yeah,
a little
we'll be coming on to
There
that.
was a little Mo on EastEnders, wasn't there, as well?
Yes, there was.
Sort of
Big Mo, little Mo.
down at heel, slightly broken woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is she still in it? Daisy's our EastEnders
Yeah.
correspondent.
Indeed.
No, she's not in it anymore.
No.
Gone but not forgotten.
I wonder what
think
that
that's
actress...
chap
Where
proves.
is she now? Little Mo? Anyone? 8, 12, 15?
15.
Yeah.
We've had an email that I just
Well,
found
she's
out.
not in it. She's in a halfway house.
I hope not.
She
Well,
won't
wish we
be.
hadn't brought it up. No,
Half.
no, I'm sure she'll be
Yeah.
touring.
Yeah.
We had an email that's one of the whatever happened to things that we sometimes
yes.
talk about. You know, whatever
Do you want the
happened to.
jingle in advance?
No, it's just
Okay.
I'm just
I'm happy to do it.
telling you what it was
Don't need to,
pertaining
Well,
to.
don't need to
Listen.
snap my head off.
Let me just translate for you, because I'm literate in Frank. And I think that means I'd like to play the jingle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you want.
Okay.
You read that very well, Emily. I think you
Yeah.
translated
Reading
that.
Frank for 25 years. Thank you.
Good morning, Alan, Emily and Frank. Whatever happened to Kilroy Was Here, the cartoon character who had a big nose draped over a wall? They used to be everywhere,
Yes.
saying things like, "What, no tab on Imperial leather?" That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, not
they had-
Robert Kilroy Sill.
No, not Robert
No,
Kilroy.
I
Still.
know what happened to him.
We know, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it says, although to be fair, I don't ever think I saw one that said that, but, you know, I think we're getting
Yes,
the
I
gist.
remember those.
Weren't they from World War II, though?
Yes, that's why I
Were they?
remember
I
them.
think they said things like, what, no licorice,
Right.
referring to, various food shortages.
Yeah.
Yes.
What, no nylon.
Didn't know that they were from World War II. Every
think
day's a
so.
school day, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, I mean, so,
I've one school day a week here.
I think we had another email, didn't we, about Bill Stickers,
Oh, yes.
which
Yes,
is another one of
I
those.
remember that, yeah.
What's the classic graffiti joke nowadays that gets
Oh.
repeated? It's the
Well, I don't think it's repeatable.
No, but it's
on
probably very
commercial
crude.
radio, Yeah.
It's all tagging
It'll
now,
be a
isn't it?
tag. There'll be
Mainly
some kind
tagging.
of tag and a big picture of somebody doing something with a hood on.
Probably.
I didn't even know they still did graffiti.
I don't know what they still do. I'll be honest with you. Who knows what is? Have we got Bill Stickers? Have you got that email anywhere?
Oh, I haven't, no.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Somewhere.
We'll come back to Bill Stickers. It just
Yeah.
seems to be on the same theme. You're quite right. I haven't seen that for Kilroy Was Here. Perhaps we can bring that back.
Yeah. We could
But
put...
what are the shortages
we
of
could
now?
put what no graffiti.
literacy?
What no paintings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What no paintings?
Yeah, because there's none of them anymore. We could put what no.
Oh,
what
I see.
no.
Yeah, yeah, we could do that.
I mean, it's complex.
what
I didn't think it was that
what no
complex.
student grants?
Oh,
yeah.
We could
Yeah.
put that.
That would work.
Hey, oh, Jeremy Corbyn. We could put that.
I love it when you get all what I'm calling donkey jacket. Now there's an old
Yeah,
reference.
Yeah.
Have we got time
If
to...
it's every time a celebrity died, you could put up a what no and then their name.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Might
Bit-
give it, maybe
Come on,
give it.
keep
Bit
it light,
insensitive
Frank.
if their
Let's get 'em-
relatives
let's-
live
I'll-
near there, but
We'll,
yeah.
we'll have a rule. Let's get them in the ground first.
Yes.
Okay.
Some respect.
But then,
Good rule.
but
We've
then,
had some correspondence from the Wirral.
because they don't all go in the ground now.
Good point.
Have
yeah.
we got time to read out this missive from the Wirral?
Well, I don't know. How long is it?
Well, OK, I'm going to be the judge of
Okay.
that. Yes. Mark Danby from the Wirral says, Dear Frank and team, we were left puzzled yesterday when my parents' aunt told us she makes all her lunchtime sandwiches on a Sunday evening, be it ham...
Wow, brilliant.
Can I just say, fabulous use of be it ham and tomato, cheese and onion, or even egg mayonnaise. Then, this is the
Egg mayonnaise. I
kicker.
wouldn't give egg mayonnaise a
Wait
week.
for it, Frank.
Come on.
Freezes them for the week. Well, I've never heard of this phenomenon. Is this normal behaviour? I just can't believe they'd be fully thawed by dinner hour.
Well, it depends when you start thawing it, but I don't know. Bread comes out that well, does it?
I know
If
a
you freeze
bloke.
it. You know a bloke.
I know a bloke who makes a month's worth of chicken pitta sandwiches and freezes them all, and then takes them out day by day as he's going to work. For exactly that, he just lets them defrost
Wow.
as he's working in the morning.
Wow.
I went out with a lady.
And I think it is remarkable. I think it is unusual.
What's he like, this
Well, then I
chap?
went out with a lady. Hold it, what happened to my anecdote?
Alan, Frank wants to tell his
No,
story.
I'm
tell your
telling it.
story.
Oh,
No,
Frank.
no, shut your face.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
You raised the subject earlier of bill stickers,
Yes,
you may recall.
because I have a sense that we had an email about bill stickers.
Well, I've discovered that very email. This is from Darren, spelt with one R, controversial. Dear Frank, Emily and Big Al, whatever happened to bill stickers, aka bill posters, will be prosecuted.
Yes. Now, that used to be a sign, a sort of a local council sign. Bill stickers will be...
Prosecuted.
Will be
Well,
prosecuted.
Darren does go on to add, did they get him in the end or did he get off on a technicality?
Well, you'd often see graffiti that said Bill Stickers is innocent.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Does he mention that?
No, but a number of other readers have, including Ian Angle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
was a
that was a bit of very popular. Like at gigs, people used to shout "Wally"
Oh, they do Alan
all
now.
the time. Don't they?
Yeah.
At your gigs, they do.
There's some...
You need to come out earlier.
Yeah. I'm tardy, aren't I?
Yeah.
No, there's some bit of footage that has gone viral, and so now occasionally, if I'm doing a boisterous comedy club of a weekend, there will be people going, Alan, and Alan, because they've all seen this clip. It's a right
Again,
laugh.
something else I didn't know they were doing.
It's a right laugh and a really good start to the
What
gig.
I was going to say before was that I went out with a woman, and when we went away, when she went away, and she did, she would pack her outfits in individual plastic bags.
I love that woman.
So she would have socks, pants, trousers, top, all in a thing, and that was her outfit. So she'd just take and that was the outfit for the
Oh,
day.
clever.
Yeah.
Well, I do pack in outfits.
I know, but I don't go on holiday in order to change my clothes every day. I go on holiday in order to not bother. That's what holiday's
Point.
about. Yeah. Sorry, you do what?
I do pack in outfits. I
Do
mean, down
you?
to the smalls. I lay them out like little ladies on the bed.
Yeah.
So I have the top
And then
I'm
you
going
pack
to
them
wear, the
individually?
undergarments, sorry.
Yeah.
Struggling getting through that. And the skirt, maybe, down to the shoes, all aspects.
And that goes in a bag.
No, that goes in the case.
It all goes in the case.
Yeah.
Oh. So don't they
I
all
don't
get
put it in a
mixed up?
They do
No,
get mixed
it
up
means in my
technically,
head I know.
Oh,
I'm just
so
saying
you
I
take a
can.
photo. You should take
Oh,
a
yes.
photograph of the outfit.
As part
I'm
of the
doing that.
process for packing, that's what Emily
Yeah.
does.
It's
Yeah.
like the constant vigil kept by my next day's clothes at the side of my bed. It just, if I look up, I can see the jumper.
We've had a lovely posh person get in touch
Oh,
saying, I
great.
saw a
Well,
Kilroy
that's
drawing on a
nice.
wall in Pompeii that said Kilroy Hick Erat, very public school. Great show, Peter.
Yeah.
Love that.
So that's Latin, is it?
Yes.
Does sound Latin to
Thanks,
me.
guys, for helping me out with that one. I'm not want to be one of those people who pretend they know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I like you for that.
Yeah. Like, the Marmite joke I told my cousin. You know that, do you?
I don't know if I do.
Well, I did a joke on. I've got time to tell. I had a joke on the telly when I was a youth, and it was David Frost. In fact, so let's go back a bit. What? No, David Frost. and he said Marmite, hopeful par,
All right.
as in Marmite.
Yes.
So I told my cousin, I'll speed this up a bit.
Mm.
And I said, what about this Marmite, hopeful par? And he went, I said, do you get it? He said, no. I said, Marmite, mother might, hopeful father that Ma might. And he went, ha ha. So honestly, I swear, this is true. I was playing darts in the pub about 2 hours later, and I heard him say to this bloke, "Here's a joke for you. Bovril." Hopeful Pa. And the other bloke went, ah. So, you know, a true story from my life.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Did my Friday night
this new
troll.
review.
You know, the Friday evening emails.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just there. If I don't look through them, they just get sent and don't get seen. So someone has to have a look.
That's wrong.
Evening team, my wife, brackets 41, close brackets. I like this already. Just realised that a ballpoint pen...
Unless it's from, say, a Mormon who's got loads and loads of wives, and that's
good
her
point.
number.
Good point.
My wife, 41.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can't remember all those names. You've got to do a
No,
numerical
no.
system.
Yeah, you need a
It's
system
easier.
sometimes.
My wife, 41, just realised that a ballpoint pen is named so because there is a tiny ball surrounded in ink at the business end.
That's correct.
Why else would it be called so?
Yeah.
See you in a bic, adds Glenn.
Oh,
What a
I like
fabulous
it.
sign-off.
Very good sign-off.
That is
for,
very good.
For a pen email. All links.
Yeah.
Good
But
work.
he's not signing on.
No.
Is that? Eh?
If he's-
Getting a biro. Rubbish. I should have left it. Should have left it with him. Oh,
Yeah.
God. I got to lock it.
What's going on in your mouth
got a
this
locket.
morning? It's,
You know when a locket sticks in your teeth?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a limp it might.
Lock it. That's a bit whatever happened to you.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I tell you, I
I
always
don't
find
see so
it
much
off-
of those anymore.
Well, no, you know, I suppose the time is imminent where your winter coat that you seem to be wearing every day goes into the cupboard and you know you're not going to be seeing it for a while.
Yeah.
It's that bit of a moment. Sometimes I
Yeah.
zip it up.
Do you?
Do you?
I'll zip it up in the end of March.
Wow.
Do
I
you
don't know
sort of-
why.
do you
Feeling that
say-
hold it in place better.
Fare thee well, as you put it away. A sort of travel safe thing.
Yeah.
There's an air of sadness
Yeah.
about it. You never know, you could go back and it could
See
be...
you soon, old friend.
Yeah, thank you.
See you on
Thank
the-
you
see
for
you on
getting
the
me
other
through the
side.
winter.
Have we all been reading The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying or something? Thank
So,
you for your service.
But when you get to, let's say,
Ridiculous.
I suppose it would be sometimes end of August, you get that cold day and you think, I might have to get the coat.
Get my old friend.
Right.
Almost always, there's half a packet of lockets.
Yeah.
Well, you're eating your way through the first half, so it's
Yeah.
perhaps time to put them away.
Because it's a winter thing, isn't it, lockets? You don't really buy them in the summer.
I don't buy them even in the winter.
Yeah, I don't
Really?
really buy them
No.
at all, actually.
Really?
2018. So,
I thought lockets were still hot potatoes.
what about tunes? You don't
No,
get
that's
them.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet potatoes are the current hot potatoes, aren't
Are
they? Yeah. They're all the rage.
They're not as good as potato. You know when you get sweet potato? I had sweet potato chips the other night at the
Yeah.
National Theatre.
Of course you did.
They're not like potato chips.
You've
They're not.
changed.
They're not.
No.
Why? You know.
They're sweeter.
Well,
They are.
they're sweeter in a sort of a not chips kind of a way.
Yeah.
You don't, if you get some, oh well, this is a dull topic.
Well, I don't think we should
Is
let
this
that
going
stop
to go
us.
down in history as the sweet potato link?
No, because I stopped it.
Okay.
I jumped ship on the.
I mean, I would
I
have
jumped
happily-
ship.
Very good.
See, I've rescued it on Capital. That would have been an hour. There'd have been a phone in about what other types of chips do you like and stuff like that.
I would have happily gone down that road. Maybe I'm.
Well, maybe
Maybe I'm the problem.
Maybe at the wrong station.
Analyse it a bit more.
Skinner, Dean, and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
So I was in a cab.
Yeah.
It was. I'll be honest with you. It was an Uber.
Okay. Is this on
Okay.
your way to get sweet potatoes at the National?
No. This was. I can't remember where I was going. To be honest, I didn't. I do a journal, but it doesn't have that kind of minutiae.
Desperately
That
trying
kind
to
of
get
level
back
of
to a
detail.
chip conversation. That
I
was
know.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll come back to that. We
No.
can bob and
Well,
weave.
were you
all.
okay?
No, it's fine.
So- anyway,
And,
you're in the cab.
And Oh, is it magic?
Yeah, well,
Depends
are
what-
you asking me in a Barry Manilow take that way, or could it be
Is it- no,
magic?
do you remember I couldn't remember the name of that Anthony Hopkins film? With,
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yes, yeah,
It
with
is-
the ventriloquist
it's
dummy.
it is
Yeah,
magic.
yeah, that-
yeah.
I just remembered it.
Has that been like 2.5 years or something?
No, it hasn't been that long.
When was that you started
I
trying to
remember we
remember?
started talking about I couldn't remember the title of it.
Is this relevant to the anecdote?
No.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't
But I'm
mean
quite-
today, do you?
No, I mean...
That literally just came out of nowhere.
It
I
might-
suddenly remembered.
Well, remember, you were giving me clues and I couldn't
I
remember.
do, darling. I just didn't know you were going to tell us then.
No,
I thought you'd finished
it's
the
probably
story.
been... I think we talked about it on air. I think it's been about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Still, that's...
I mean, you can see why we might
Okay.
have thought the moment was over.
but it's always lovely to...
Somewhat surprised to hear it mid-anecdote.
It's always lovely to tie up a loose end,
Isn't it?
isn't it? Oh, I felt there's a little part of me that's just relaxed a bit. Ooh,
Good.
Yeah.
okay. So I was in a cab, and this bloke was telling me that he'd had problems downstairs, as they say.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
Hang on, is he getting some renovation work done in the home?
No, it was.
Oh.
He had.
I would have got out there and then.
Yeah.
I don't. What do we know? It was two men talking, and he said, "I've
Could have
had
been worse, I suppose.
I won't go into what he had, but it was it was below the belt. And he said to me, and he was, I suppose he was about 50 odd, and he said, so I had to go to the doctors about it. He said, of course, when I got there, he said it was a woman doctor. I said, okay. He said, I thought, oh no. He said, and not only that, he said, how can I? He said, I've got to tell you, he said, she was hot, he said to me. He said, don't get me wrong, I'm not being feminist. I said, I never thought that for a second. It was a malapropism, is what it
Very
was. Yeah. So I thought it might be a good thing for people who say terrible things like that to say, I'm not being feminist. As
Yeah.
a sort of just to absolutely point it out. But this bloke was trying to be all,
Oh, he was
good.
trying so
Yeah.
hard. Bless him.
I didn't correct him.
No. Oh, no, don't correct them.
No,
And
I think it's bad form to correct people.
Did she correct him? Did you get the conclusion of his medical
I did,
issue?
but it gets
Oh.
darker.
it get a bit
after
dark?
this. Yeah, it does.
Oh, it
yeah.
got darker.
Oh yeah, I think there was an emission at one
It was
point.
quite dusky to begin with.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's another one of my stories. I just crossed. I'll just tick that off.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I went. Here comes another. I went to the National Theatre to see. Now
Wonderful, darling.
No, I feel I should. I did go to the National Theatre to see Macbeth, which I loved. But I went to see.
Always swimming against the tide because it hasn't gone down well, that Macbeth.
Oh, but what does that mean?
Well, I know it's like not liking Hamilton.
Well, Hamilton was much loved and turned out to be hogwash.
Frank is an
I'm just saying
independent
he's
thinker
swimming
of
against the tide.
No,
Yeah.
but
I'm not
because
saying that's a bad thing.
some repute.
Because I said that I was upfront about not liking Hamilton. I thought if I see something I really like, I should. And I saw Network with Bryan
Cranston.
Bryan Cranston.
One of my faves.
Oh,
Yeah. I wasn't familiar with his work.
Right, because you don't get into the box
Well, you
sets,
don't like
so-
the American boxer. He's not in
Well,
Merlin.
He was that was Merlin. Was
Malcolm
at the
in the
centre of
Middle,
it.
I think, is probably the last thing
Yeah.
Frank will remember him in.
Yeah.
Yes.
He did a show called Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Frank.
Well, see, what my problem with Breaking Bad, as you know, is that you and some of the other people on this show were talking about Breaking Bad in an enthusiastic fashion.
Yeah.
About did you see when he did this and when he did that, and I said, did you see Merlin? And rather than just say no, we don't watch Merlin, you just laughed and laughter guttural
Yeah.
from the abdomen type of
Yeah,
laugh.
that does sound like us, yeah.
Which I didn't I didn't care for the hat.
Okay.
But he was,
Was he good?
he's great.
Yeah, he's good.
Who knew? Bryan Cranston.
Everyone.
Everyone
did.
except
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
We did.
Yeah, I thought he was.
Everyone that wasn't watching Merlin instead of Breaking Bad knew.
Yeah, he blew me away. That what's he called? Bryan
Bryan
Cranston.
Cranston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blew me away.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, wouldn't it be great if they did a remake of Taxi Driver? Do you remember Taxi Driver?
Yeah.
Robert?
You're talking to me. That
Well, I'm talking to both of you.
Yeah. There's no one else
And
here.
the main character, if you remember, was called
Travis
Bickle.
Travis
Yeah.
Bickle. So Bryan Cranston played it. The headline in Variety would be Cranston's Bickle,
Oh,
which would just make me happy.
Trebon.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I went. Oh, sorry.
Well, this was just you continue. Bob from Birmingham can wait.
Okay. Oh, I don't like Bob from Birmingham. Actually, Bars, my 5.5-year-old child, said to me this week, his mother said, what do you want for your dinner? Just want bits and bobs. And he said, what are bobs?
No, yeah.
And it's not a bad question.
Yeah.
What are they?
What are they?
What was she describing, bits and bobs? Like a meze?
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Al.
we should have said
Lovely,
meze.
Al.
Then he
Yeah,
would have known
meze, yeah.
what we was talking
Is that
about.
what she meant, though?
The modern children know that.
Yes.
Don't know the meze.
No, well, bits. Wouldn't it be better if you went to a restaurant and it said on there bits and bobs?
Yeah,
But we don't know what bobs are.
Yeah.
good point.
It's bits. I don't know if you remember. Did you say this when you get to the chip shop and they said, "Do you want bits?"
Well,
No.
yes.
No.
See, I've just took Al back to chips.
In Yorkshire,
How did you do that? Why did you do that?
In Yorkshire.
in Yorkshire, it's sometimes called scraps as well.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
Basically,
it
it's
called scraps.
fried fat, isn't it, and batter.
Sorry,
Like,
what
just
is
little-
it?
It's like a little
know
envelope of fat in batter. It's like if you could capture a globule. It's a globule prison.
You know,
I like you trying to explain it to me. It's like when Fergie went to Newcastle. It was that documentary. I mean, the Sarah Ferguson.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not, you were about to say something. Go on.
You know the bits that the batter that is wrapped around a piece of fish in a fish and chip
Oh,
shop.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you imagine lots of little pieces of that batter that have fallen off and then they've sort of sieved it out.
Oh, okay.
It's that.
Gravel.
It's
like
It's
um,
I'm
tasty,
calling it the
fatty
Flotsam
gravel.
and Jetsam.
Yes.
Of the chip shop.
it's high calorie gravel.
Do you know what? I've only this week had a chat about a local fish and chip shop who my wife says don't do bits, and she asked why, and he said, not allowed, health and safety. And I said, well, that's obviously a lie, because other fish and chip shops still sell bits. They still sell them in Yorkshire.
Well, I asked Siri this week where there was a local nearest fish and chip shop, and Siri gave me some options, and I did some. I thanked him. at
Oh,
the
did
end.
you?
I said,
Did you?
thank you very much. He said, it's a pleasure, as always.
Isn't that
Seriously.
lovely?
Well, he says as always. I mean, we've had our differences in the past. I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you.
And can he feel pleasure, Siri?
Oh, don't be
When he
silly.
says,
Do you think that bloke that does the voice occasionally with his wife, he'll say, "Can I help you?" in messing about, and she'll say, "Oh, don't be Siri." Would that be great? Do you think? It
Yeah.
wasn't a rhetorical question.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to know what you
Yes,
think
I do.
about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I think it would be marvellous.
Okay. Is it a man or is it a computer-generated thing?
some people have a
Oh, I
woman
don't
on their
know.
Siri.
Be a
Some people
great
have a
job,
woman
wouldn't
on
it?
I don't have Siri because I don't trust it. I don't want my
What do you
phone
think it's
talking
going
to me.
to tell you it's a chip shop, but in
Yeah.
fact you're going to be
How did we
ambushed?
come round to
Exactly.
chips again? That's all we've talked about this morning. Chips.
great.
I think it's all we
Chips
talked
mad.
about. What about my cab driver not being feminist story? That's going to be. I imagine we'll be hearing that again when the Arias are awarded.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or email the show via the Absolute Radio website. You can do any one or all of those things.
I see our role as sort of bits and bobs.
Bits and
Really?
bobs. Has anyone
Yeah.
said what bobs are yet?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, Frank.
thanks.
363.
There was an inference to that question.
363 has texted, bits and bobs, wasn't that the basket on top of sewing machines?
Oh, like
Oh,
bobbin.
okay. Yes, there is
Bit-
something there.
Yeah.
Mm,
There is something there.
Okay,
Whether or not it's,
bobs. Okay.
I mean, I don't know if it's conclusive or empirical evidence.
It is one, now you come to mention it.
Yeah.
Bric-a-brac.
Oh, yes.
Is that still
Bric-a-brac,
I think it
yes.
is.
I haven't heard of
Is
that
it?
for a long. I don't know what that is. Is
I
it
haven't
like
he-
bits and bobs?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
tchotchkes.
Is it probably French?
Bless you.
It's probably you find that brick is French for bits and brack is
Yeah.
French for bob.
Bric-a-brac. I didn't quite come out quite right, that.
No. Bric-
Now, listen, there's been some... Now, look.
Now
There's
listen.
been some big news this week, which we'll get to via an email.
Okay.
I like the way I'm taking over suddenly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is from 005. He begins. The Gary Oldman fever is still going on. And this week alone, I've heard the, do you know who his sister is?
Yes.
No less than 4 times. Twice from my own mother in the same conversation.
Oh, that's the great thing about getting older.
Yes.
It's actually starting to make me go off Gary.
Oh.
So now, when I'm
Harsh.
told this Oldman sibling information, I started telling people that you, Frank, of the real name Chris Collins, are in fact Gemma the JC Collins' uncle. It's
Yeah.
a total lie, but I'm just
I wish.
enjoying seeing how many people buy it. So
I-
far,
I
100%.
wish that was true.
Yeah.
Dear.
I like the idea of her sitting in one corner in that brown. You remember the brown dress with the shoulder pads? Her
Yeah.
sitting and me sitting
I
on
know
her as
it?
if she were a sofa.
How will I ever forget it?
I would love to be related to. Did she sue the BBC in the end, Gemma Collins? Remember she fell down a hole?
Yes, I do remember.
Do you remember that? And you know, she didn't even get a tenner for turning up. That was
No, I remember her mentioning that.
miffed.
Yeah.
That's harsh indeed.
Anyway,
There's been a lot of big mo news.
there's been a lot of big Mo news.
Yeah, we should say that on the show. We have a thing called Big Moment. In case you're new to the show, Big Moment is when somebody tells you something that's they think is a fact that no one else knows, but in fact it's it's known by a lot of people.
Everyone knows it.
And we thought the fact that Big Mo from EastEnders was Gary Oldman's sister was the classic example. But it seems a lot of people they really didn't know.
No.
Yeah.
I read the thing in the Evening Standard and it says that people are surprised by this because they got different surnames. And I thought, that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
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 There's other stuff going on.
I like someone saying, if there's a better fact than this out there, I want to hear it.
I like the idea of the
That
league
person needs-
table of fact.
That person needs to publicise their contact details because, I mean,
We've got
there's
quite a
loads,
few facts to
there's
give
loads
you.
of facts.
What do you think would be the number one fact?
Well, one of the most disputed ones at the moment seems to be the Earth is round, doesn't it? There's
Yeah.
quite a lot of flat earthing about.
Yeah.
I like that's honestly the best fact. Also out there. I like the idea of it being out there.
Well, I think the inference is that there's quite a lot of facts that are being kept from us. And that league table you can only find on the .net.
Yes.
I think we had one the other week that someone said, I don't know if we read it out or not,
Yeah.
someone said that Birmingham has more canals than Venice.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's one of those.
That's one of those big modes.
Very much.
I've got one actually, but I don't know. I know you're quite strict about entry requirements for this, so I won't be upset
Go on,
if it
fire
doesn't.
away.
Okay, I'm getting nervous.
Oh, me too.
Gary and Phil Neville's father being called Neville.
Neville, yes, I think
Can you
that's a
let
good
that
one.
in?
I think
Thank
that's
you.
a good one. Yeah.
Oh, I
So
made
you're-
it in.
But what's their dad called? It's Neville. Isn't it?
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, that's the thing, is to tell people.
Okay.
Are you the sort of person that tells them? You'll never guess who his sister is. Big Mo from EastEnders, and they're crestfallen.
This is a pain point for me because I think I did that to you on air when I joined this show.
Oh, did you?
Did you?
What was I telling
I think
you?
that may well have kick-started this whole thing.
I think you're
I thought
right.
it was good info.
Yeah.
Oh, the Big Mo thing.
Yeah.
I think you told us in tones of sort of, wide-eyed, breathless
Well,
revelation.
I've got that in my game. I am. It varies between 1 and 9 parts out of 10 bore. So
One that
You know.
one that I get for specific reasons.
Yeah.
People tell me, again, thinking I won't know this, is that the Hawthorns, West Bromwich Albion's ground where they play, is of the 92 clubs in England and Wales, it is the highest above sea level, that ground.
Is it?
I got told that just last week by somebody.
Wow.
Does it still relevant, Ice? In
Well, I
the
don't
age
know,
of
but if there's
global
a-
warming, I don't know, they keep a track on how high
No.
above sea level it is.
Well, Frank, I don't know, but if there's a better fact out there than that, I want to hear it.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I've got one email here that contains 4 big moments.
Wow.
I know. And I think they're all on point, as they say.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi all, I've 4 big moments that I've come across recently that I'd like to share with you. Did you know that 1, William Shakespeare died on his birthday?
Oh, yeah?
2, Jason Statham represented England as a diver at the Commonwealth
that's
Games.
a good
That's
one.
a good one.
That
That
is
is
very
good,
much
yeah.
on point.
We should have a Big Mo jingle, really, Frank.
We should.
Can you think of one, please?
Mr. Mo Jingle.
That's the one.
We've
Funny,
missed.
that's a really
we've
good
missed a Mo Jingle.
3.
Let me see if
oh,
it's-
let
let
me-
me
one.
see
We
it.
could pick as something to tide us over.
Well, halfway through these. Oh, there we go, yeah.
yeah, I
You got to
like,
imagine a town
Yeah.
crier announcing them.
and I imagine big,
Goes through me. I can feel that I feel it in my feelings.
that's like Big Mo's voice goes through me. I imagine,
She's coming back, actually.
She is.
Pretenders.
yeah. He was up to number 2 on the list.
I've done 2. That was
Okay.
the Jason Statham one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
3, the word orange was used to describe the fruit before the colour.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't think I knew that.
Oh, I'm
not-
sorry.
I don't fully understand it.
Well,
It was the name of the fruit, and that's why.
and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Poor example, recently you discussed the robin redbreast being orange,
That's true.
and that's
Oh, that
because
must have
they
been a
used the
good
word
link.
red. And
Was
then,
it?
then eventually they started going, actually, that's like those fruits that we call orange.
Is that right?
Yeah. 4.
Actually, what I wouldn't mind, come to think of it, is if you could knit the outer area of a robin, and then you could keep your oranges warm in
That
it.
would be nice.
And
That
the,
would be
the orange would
absolutely
fill
lovely.
the breast.
And
Yeah.
thus,
It would
thus,
be the
put,
breast.
thus put an end to the age-old problem of an orange being too cold.
Too cold on the outside. I tell you what, I get a lot
which
of
I think has plagued many of our readers'
Yeah.
lives.
No, I
Yeah.
tell you what I do that. If you get a stubborn orange, I can sometimes hurt. You know that piece of flesh where your fingernail joins your thumb?
Oh, let me just have a look.
I can
Oh,
do,
yeah.
you know, at the top. I
I know it.
sometimes really stretch that trying to get orange peel off, and then I don't really enjoy the orange.
Right.
I'll be straight with you.
Okay. Anyway, where were we up to? Number 3.
We're on number 4. Last
Okay.
one. Capital of Vatican City is Vatican
Vatican
City.
Yes.
Well, Frank will know that.
I don't
one.
think.
Thought so.
I don't think that one.
I think that's
qualifies.
quite known, but told to
Oh,
people.
he doesn't like it when it's his manner. Can't make jokes about his manner.
Yes.
I don't think there's any.
I'm not letting that one in.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, the Oscars.
Oh,
Yes.
It's not. It's a
Yeah.
bit like the Labour Party conference with a little bit of cleavage nowadays.
Yeah.
That's about it, isn't it? It's not. It's not the fun. It doesn't
No.
seem like the fun event it used to be. What happens to
It's-
thank you to my agent and?
No, they don't do that anymore. They don't do no business like show business
No.
and the academy. The
You know, it's
academy
all
you don't.
good courses, but can't they do it? Can't they do it in a cafe?
They
Yeah.
could do it. They could do
I
it in a
couldn't.
function room of a hotel.
I mean,
Really,
come
couldn't
on.
they?
They should do it in a sort of conference centre.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it probably is in
Yeah.
a conference centre, but it should have more of that.
But you know what I mean? It doesn't have. It's not very bouncy nowadays.
No.
No.
Francis McDormand had had her statue, went AWOL, shall we say.
She was separated from
A
her
statue?
gong. Yes.
Her Oscar,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Oscar statue. There's rumours that it was stolen and then returned, and then there was somebody arrested and questioned about it. But it had already been engraved at the point of stealing and or being liberated, whatever.
Yeah.
What a bloke
Lost.
stole it and then engraved it.
No, it had already been
Well,
engraved with her name, which
she
is the wrong
said-
time to pinch it.
Kilroy was here. Engraved on it.
I thought it all looked a bit sort of, makeshift. She was queuing up in this big £25,000 Valentino gown to have her Oscar engraved.
Is that how much that
Like she was
gown
at
was?
Timpson's.
We had to queue up to get it engraved.
Well, she was standing at this weird booth to get it engraved. I thought that seemed very
Really?
highly irregular. Yeah, so it's about 20 grand, that dress.
I wouldn't want to be
Is
the one.
it?
Valentino's
I
collection.
should tell her that. Imagine that. Excuse me, Mrs. McDormand. You got to go and queue up. All right. I don't make the rules. So imagine how it would go. She was crying emotionally. It said.
Crying
Was she?
emotionally.
That's what it said in the. She was
Well.
described. That's how actors are so stunned that someone's crying emotionally. They actually note it, as opposed to just crying in a professional capacity.
I liked it, she said, apparently, of the man who was said to have stolen it.
Well,
she
he's
was
been
quite.
charged, hasn't he?
He has.
has he?
He's been charged for, what is it, grand felony of a possession
love
worth over $950.
Can I ask a question? Do we have felonies in the UK?
Oh, good question.
I only
Text in,
ever,
81215.
I only ever hear the word felony when
It sounds very glamorous, doesn't
I
it?
think the Spice Girls, weren't they involved? Oh, no, it was Melanie. But there were, I've never heard of anyone in this
No.
country charged with a felony. And I like it because it's got the word felon in it.
Yeah.
And it's like they're saying they're a bit, a felony's a crook. And so they look a bit felony, is what it's saying.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Yeah.
a bit felony, so we'll charge him. Like it would be crooky, I suppose.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart crooky.
I like
Look at that. Yeah. No, I'd love to know that felony.
Yeah.
It's like, do you remember years ago I asked if people jumped out of houses into firemen carrying, holding those things?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
someone said, that's
Trampoline.
only in America. I got an
Oh,
angry.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
And I wonder if felonies is the same.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, we'll find out about that.
Oh, definitely.
I'm looking forward to it.
$950 for an Oscar, though. I mean, Paul Catamol sold his Brit for about 74k. Surely the Oscars got to be worth. What would an Oscar be the going rate for that?
I have an
They
answer
must
to
have
that.
sold. They must have sold Oscars. haven't
Well,
You're not
they
allowed.
have been sold, but there's a law that the
law.
There's a law that
they? You're not going to tell me it's a felony.
they
to sell you.
It's
they
not your possession, is
the
it?
Academy can buy it. They have a legal right to buy it back off you for $1 because
What?
Steven Spielberg bought two ridiculously expensive. One of Clark Gable's and one for Gone with the Wind. He bought them.
Hasn't
And
he
they were
got
both
enough?
They were both like $500,000 each or something, and then he gave it back to the Academy. I mean, you could just imagine that.
Why on earth did he do that, the idiot?
I know.
What's he does? How to get an Oscar? Buy the Academy 2 Oscars,
Yeah,
and just so
And
you're
lose a load of
really
money.
in with them.
yeah.
Wow, what a thing to do!
Really idiotic.
£500,000 and then give it to the Academy
Yeah.
I hope he got his $1.
Yeah. It's a bit like chatting to somebody in Weatherspoons about this now. just, why would you do that?
Honestly, it is though.
The idea of
It's a
Steven
stupid-
Spielberg, the idiot.
It's the
He is,
stupidest
though, he
thing
is.
I've ever heard.
On this
in my life.
criteria, Frank's right. He is an idiot. I mean, that is
Yeah.
really
It's a
stupid.
bit people buying Twitter followers, isn't it?
And you said Clark Gable and one from Gone with the
think
Wind, but
it was
Clark
that.
Gable was in Gone from the
I think he
Gone
got.
with the
Yeah.
Wind.
I think it might have been
What's
like
with
a
the
best
Gable
actor and
obsession?
a film.
Calm down, dear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spielberg. Spielberg. More like it.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
529 has texted, "Good morning, all. It's only a felony in America because they're a federal state."
Oh, I see.
And then he adds,
Okay.
"Johnny B. Good, not a trained barrister." So whether or not we take his word as gospel, I think,
This is from Johnny B. Good,
yeah,
who is
Yes.
American.
Well,
yeah.
to be
yes.
fair.
Okay. Well, he obviously knows.
I seem to remember he'd carry his guitar in a gonny sack.
If
Don't know why he
Johnny
did that.
Cochran is listening, he got OJ off, didn't he? So he
Oh,
probably
yeah.
knows about felonies.
I think he's no
and
longer
could-
with us, but I may be.
Oh, I am so sorry to the
The Cochrane family.
the Cochran family. Yeah,
I don't. That may be incorrect. So,
Eddie Cochran as well, no longer with us.
yeah.
we could do that. We could do a whole list of
All the
Cochrans that are no longer with us.
Dead Cochrans. Yeah.
Don't start me on the Deans.
We've got to do one a week, until obviously you're the punchline.
Yeah.
That could be a long haul.
We'll see.
Meanwhile, over at the Academy Awards,
Oh yes,
Frances McDormand,
She
20
dominated, didn't she?
20 grand dress.
20 grand dress,
I've
and
heard.
coincidentally, in a neat coincidence, his bail was set at 20 grand. Just saying.
Bet he wishes he'd stolen the dress now.
So she could, if as a gesture, just take the dress into the police
Yeah.
station and he'd be out.
I don't know if that's what he actually had to hand over. That's what they said was, would be in line with that offence. Which, is it really an offence? I mean, it's not great.
Steal someone's Oscar.
Well, he didn't steal it. If someone took
He-
our Best Speech Programme Perspex Award
Yeah.
and had posed with it, quite why they do this, I don't know. But if they'd made a video on Facebook and they posted it up there, I don't think... I mean, I would have been very sad if they'd gone to prison for that. Or if they'd have been arrested. She was forced to say, let him go. In a bit, God's release him.
I'd have been too
Yeah.
busy getting all the Catholics that had been nominated that night to stand up in the audience. He didn't take it away then.
No, he was apprehended by... Notice I'm speaking like a cop at her.
Yeah.
He was apprehended by a photographer, I believe, who said, hang on a minute, that's not yours.
Yeah, you're
So,
not.
no
Francis.
What I
harm done.
like, I like the idea that he was a pharmacist and he'd lost his mortar from his pestle
yes.
and mortar. When they found him, they always sit like it's like the bowl slightly under the arm, like they got the bowl in the head, like with the head of the Oscar, grinding up some cochineal.
Oh,
Or something of that. That'd be more
Yeah.
of a painting thing, but you know what I mean. Oh, I'd love if he'd used it in a pestle and mortar.
But that's a good thing for his defence attorney. He can use that excuse.
Yeah.
Great,
What
Frank.
would
He
he
could say,
what would he have done with
what
it?
if he said, I've got a drug problem, I can't help myself, and it was the last lot I bought was very lumpy.
Right.
And in desperation, I took the Oscar so I could put it in a pestle and mortar and make it something I,
like
could
the
take
idea-
intravenously.
I like
Yeah.
the idea of someone with a serious drug problem saying, I can't help myself, in a sort of Frank Spencer way.
The best
Or
thing for my
Betty-
drug problem is
bear
for
in
me to go
mind-
to the Oscars.
He's in court trying to win over the judge and jury, so he's playing it. He's playing it sweet.
Right. Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to let him into the. You don't want to see the rubber around the wrist.
You don't want to go Louis Theroux doc on him.
No, he's being light-hearted about it. I can imagine him miming the pastel and mortar like he was whisking up a nice cake
Yeah.
with a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, if he's listening, he can have that as a defence. With my blessing for his felony.
Good of you.
Sorry, but occasionally I find this show funny as well.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Did you see that Selma Hayek had a foot massage
Yes.
at the Oscars?
I love that. She's my spirit animal.
I think-
do that. I don't have the foot massage at the Oscars, but I do. The minute I go to any awards ceremony, the first thing I do is take my shoes off under the table.
Oh, okay.
I mean, why would I waste that pain on nobody? No one's seeing my feet under there.
No, I'm all for it. When I was at the Brits, I had one of those Japanese fish pedicures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. As long as you don't leave them in too long, just take it out and it's just skeletal.
It was a
hate
bit of an idiotic eureka moment for me that all these years I've been sitting there in these uncomfortable Oh, I just hit the microphone. But I just thought, no, I'm not
But when
doing
you're
this anymore.
sitting, are uncomfortable shoes still uncomfortable when you're
Yes,
sitting?
of course they are, yes.
Well, I'll go to a hat house. I thought,
Doesn't sound much fun to
and
wear those shoes.
I'm gonna make a generalisation about women here. So it's been great working with you.
Okay.
But I thought women sort of accept a certain amount of red blister on the heel
Yeah.
plasters.
Of
type
course,
thing
yeah.
in the
Outrageous.
footwear area.
Yeah, absolutely. But why would you do that? Why would you do that in silence, in darkness, under the
Yeah,
table? Do you see,
totally.
dear?
Yes, I haven't been asked that for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I wondered if it was the bloke who was after Francis McDormand. He was just souvenir hunting. He went for trying
Crawling
to
around.
Selma
Grabbed a
Hayek's feet. I mean, that'd get you a few bob on the internet if you could get one of them.
Yes, true.
Dear, some
She's
people
got-
pay big money.
She's got a petite foot.
I bet.
I-
Yeah. What size is Selma Hayek? 8, 12, 15.
I think
She's
I'm
a
going
13.
size 3.
She's a man's 13.
Three?
I
Well, that's
googled
my
it.
size.
No,
Same as me.
not
2.5/3.
I googled it. She's a man's 13.
36.
She's shaped like an L.
Is she really?
She, very
course,
hard for her to fall forwards.
Kate Winslet, 9.5.
Yeah.
Can't watch telly in bed. No. It was a weird thing.
I didn't like this story about her
Did you not?
massage. I think it
Tell me
may be
why,
the
Al.
exact moment in history that I developed an ickiness about feet. Because when she was boasting, like, "Oh, my husband gave me a foot massage."
Oh, it was her husband. I thought just somebody had said, "Do you want to fancy a
Some
foot massage?"
random.
Well,
I
I
thought it
do-
was like one of the, the services at the Oscars.
I mean, I think there is an age gap in the relationship. The husband looks like he's
Is
got a
there?
few more miles on the clock than her. If you,
That's shocking in Hollywood, isn't it?
Yeah, who'd have
Never
thought?
heard of that before.
Who'd have thought that?
he's probably got an ickiness about feet, and she's gone, "Can you rub my feet?" And he's gone, "Yep, all right, fine. If it keeps this going." Like,
How old are we talking, the Hayek? Old man Hayek.
I think he looks.
Henri-François Pinault, I
Is that
believe his
is that
name
his
is.
name?
Well, I believe he's head of Louis Vuitton, the House of Louis Vuitton.
Is he?
Is he
Well,
really?
then you don't
So he
think...
I
might-
believe
just-
the house is actually called LVMH.
I
He might have just
really
been trying
wanted...
to change her shoes.
I really wanted to tell me he was unemployed fitter,
Yeah.
and that she'd just met him and fallen in love, and she said, I've got money, we'll be
No,
fine.
he's got
No,
bags.
not
If
that
you need a
story.
bag, he's your man.
He's got bags, yeah.
Is he
You should
Mexican?
have put
Is
some
he
pile
Mexican?
cream on them.
Yeah,
Is she Mexican?
she is,
I
yes.
think so.
He's lucky he got her before the wall went up. It's going to make it a lot trickier dating.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
We were talking about Selma Hayek's foot massage.
Oh, yeah. And you found it a bit
Foot
creepy.
massage.
Yeah, I think I looked a bit like that green face emoji that that's quite popular, isn't it? You
I haven't seen it.
It's sort of I think it's about to be sick one.
Oh, it's that one. Okay. I'll
Yeah.
say that one. I haven't seen it.
One of my hobbies is acting out emojis and GIFs at the moment. So,
Is that so?
Yeah.
What gifts do you do?
like a shaking.
Oh, that's
this is
good.
very visual, isn't it? Very
Oh,
visual.
I like it. I like it.
Like a wagging finger for
I
the
think- I
people
think
that
you-
can't see
I do
it.
2 hands raised, like I need
Right.
to praise you.
I
think
sometimes do
we've
the
been
face
on,
slaps one.
We've been on air long enough now for people to just trust us
Yeah.
with the visuals. I understand we've got a... Corrección.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I mean,
I'm
wasn't
go-
sure.
Ole, ole, ole.
It's from
Corrección.
Nugget.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's quite when you get a correzione from Nugget and it's about fashion.
He's
Oh,
a
okay.
sure regular, I would say.
A correzione
he's
Pino
correcting
is
you
not the
about,
head of LVMH. That's Bernard Arnault, the richest man in France. I thought with your fashion background, you would have known
Oh,
that.
be careful.
Yeah.
He said, I've
Brave
got my
man.
Arnault and my Pinot mixed up.
They're actually great rivals.
He
yeah.
says they're
these
great
days.
rivals. Well, I don't want to go into the semantics of this, but, okay, I'm going to let you have that nugget.
So
Ooh,
you-
don't
I'm-
sound entirely convinced.
No, I'm
though.
going to let you have it. It's fine.
You think he's splitting hairs a little?
No, it's fine. It's
Okay.
fine.
They're two different people. to
Does-
be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
He's not chicken nugget.
Take it heavily off.
So
You win.
let's clear up the... Who's old man Hayek?
So there's old man Hayek is Pinot. Is it François Henri or Henri François?
Henri Francois Pinault.
Yeah.
And
And the
rich-
fashion conglomerate he currently owns
Yes.
is Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci, Stella McCartney.
Do they make
all
gloves?
merge and they change all the time. And the one that Arno currently is head of is LVMH. There you go.
So you just
Okay.
got the wrong brand.
And he's
Yes.
the richest
That's
man in.
similar.
I mean, I dare say if the richest man in France had said to Selma Hayek, "Can I get the other foot?" she'd have said, "Go for it."
Yeah.
But,
But
I
they've
could be
both
wrong.
got a lot of money and they're both in fashion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy mistake to make, I would
Oh.
say.
I
What,
like
is
that Joe
your-
Dolce.
Is that your Selma Hayek impression? Wouldn't it be more, hey, what you doing, my foot?
Yeah.
That kind of thing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she'd have danced on his hat in some sort.
Sounded a bit like Abbott and Costello when you said that. What
Yeah.
are you doing with my foot?
If she'd have won, of course. I think, did she win one for free? I love that Frida Kahlo film.
She
was
won
in.
one for growing the eyebrows together. Yeah.
Did she?
Did
Okay.
she?
Yeah.
But
Is that
apparently,
the name of the film?
she shot 23 holes into the ceiling of the auditorium
Oh.
when it was announced.
Really?
You know, all, and like that. It was I mean, it was, things that got out of hand, if you ask me. And people don't, let's face it. I haven't been asked a question about Selma Hayek's behaviour for
Ever.
never. Even old man Hayek, now he just, he cleans up his own backyard, so to speak.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio or email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
We established earlier on that I don't use Siri because I'm ever so slightly terrified thereof.
What do you think will happen?
I don't know, but basically the rise of the technological robots and baddies taking over the world. That
Well, you get
Yeah.
this,
Nutshell,
you
that.
get this thing where they keep a record of what you've sort of looked up and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't like
So
that.
Kindle will say to me, recommended for you, and then give me some books.
yeah,
They're a bit
Yes.
like books I've already
If you
downloaded.
like this,
yeah. I worry about
you'll
that.
like this.
I once placed an order on Amazon towards the end of last year for the new LCD Sound System album, a game cookbook but written by Norman Tebbit, and a motorcycle cover. And I thought, this has probably broken the algorithm. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to recommend to me from this
Yeah.
evidence. What are we? I think this guy might have just bought everything else that
Yeah.
we sell, and these are the last three things. He's just making it. I mean, I don't know what they're going to offer. Anyway,
We had a thing on Room 101 where they were selling baseball bats,
Oh, yes.
aluminium baseball
I think it was on
bats.
last night's actually,
Oh,
Frank.
was it?
Yeah.
Aluminium baseball bats, and it said people who bought this also bought, and the first thing was obviously a baseball, and the second one was a full-face balaclava. That's a worry.
that is a worry. But not only do I not use Siri, I don't use Alexa. Is it Alexa, the Amazon
Yes.
thing?
Now, I've got to tell you,
It's the Amazon
never,
voice assistant.
I hadn't heard of Alexa until this week.
Oh,
Is that
because of
right?
the
Yeah,
news story.
Oh, bless
no
you.
idea it existed.
Well, there is a bit of me that wonders if they've put this fault in on purpose to get everybody to hear about
Wow.
it through the medium of the news.
Oh,
Yeah.
ka-ching.
Well, let's say what the fault is, please.
Or could it be Alexa
fault is-
ka-chong?
Very
Oh,
good.
lovely,
Very good.
Frank.
There is a fault with Alexa, which is that occasionally
We should say there might be other people like me out there. What is
Who don't
Alexa?
know.
Alexa is like a
I'm
home.
pretending I want you to tell them. I actually want you to tell me.
It's a
It's like when he asked us what Netflix was.
It's
Yeah.
a voice-controlled
Still haven't got it.
home entertainment and home gadget control device. Is that what we would
I'm calling it. Okay, let's have that. Or we could do a voice assistant
So it's
Right.
like Siri.
available from Amazon.
Yeah,
yes.
but a voice assistant. And you can rig it up so that you can say, oh, Alexa,
Make the bed.
put the kettle on,
So I might
turn the
say,
music down.
for example, apologies for the name dropping, but it's just you're going to have to deal with it with me. Jonathan Ross has one. He has one wall mounted. Of course, he was one of the first to have one, I think.
course.
But I'll say, oh, how long does it take to get there? I'll Google it. And I'll say, no, I'll go and ask Alexa. And then by the time he's got back, of course, I've done it.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's this idea that, it's
But
helpful.
it
and
does
it's quick.
stuff as well.
So it's an assistant. and-
Yeah.
You wouldn't really put the kettle on. You use that as a comical example.
No, I think it would if you had a smart.
If you had all
kettle,
your
as
smart,
it were.
if you had everything set up to it, it could
If
do all
everything was
sorts.
smart,
You
yeah.
would put the kettle on.
Put the tumble
Put the
dryer
heating on.
Put the tumble dryer
If
on.
you had a smart
Would it moan
tumble
about
dryer.
you watching Doctor Who?
I wonder.
I'm working out something here in my mind.
I wonder.
Okay.
But we are already getting people texting in. I'm sorry, Al, this is breaking news. For example, Penguinland. Hello there. Says, do you know saying Alexa sets it off? Can you stop saying it?
Oh.
Alexa.
No, stop.
Sorry.
Stop saying Alexa.
At Penguinland, they're probably all being fed every time we say it. Alexa's chucking them more fish.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what it worries me is that I must have told you when I had the sound-operated bedside lamp.
No. Oh, maybe.
Is this
So-
in your blue period?
This is when if you'd lie in bed and read, and if you just went click your fingers, the lamp would go off, and if you got up in the night for any reason, on it would come again. You know, and I thought it was in the shape of a football. I remember. I thought this is the future.
Mm-hmm.
How can I put this? On the first night I had it, at one point in the evening, I broke wind with alarming ferocity,
Oh, God.
and the light came on, and that I felt like it was reprimanding me. It was like that the emission was so dense. It
Like
qualified.
that.
It actually qualified as an intruder. I'll never ever mention. I hate this as a topic.
I know. It upsets
I can
me.
see how torn you are between your hatred of the topic
And
and,
the
the
truth,
fact you think
the
it's a
facts.
funny story.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I mean, this is actually me making my pitch for the breakfast show.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.
What are we, so Alexa we're talking about. Have we described what the
An
glitch
assistant.
is? Yeah.
No, we
No,
haven't
have we
really
described
described the glitch. The glitch is that occasionally Alexa, even when
Can we
turned...
stop saying Alexa so much? I'm
Yeah.
feeling sorry for the people who.
Why do you think...
Because they might
It's
be
activating their Alexa.
the penguins.
I don't think me saying Alexa would be activating their
Penguinland
Alexa.
just told us we had breaking news from Penguinland.
I think they call it the Antarctic.
Surely there's some voice recognition.
Now someone will say, phone in and text in and say there are no penguins in the Antarctic.
Why doesn't
you know
David
what?
Attenborough call it Penguinland? I'd watch it much more
Be
then.
more accessible, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
Just help us out. I mean, Greenland, that's a lie for a start off.
True.
Iceland, fair enough. Got it right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It occasionally just bursts into laughter. The gadgets.
Yeah.
The gadget we've described.
Have you heard it?
I have heard it, but it said that described it as witch-like laughter.
I don't
Oh, well,
like
I'll
it.
be able to do that then.
That is,
She went-
I think.
Yeah, it's
No,
a bit
it's because. But I think it's an elder lady laugh. It's not a witch laugh. It's an elder lady laugh.
Yeah.
I could tell because I actually found it quite arousing. Yeah, I thought, oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
Couldn't have that going off
When you
regularly
see
around the house. I'd
When
be.
you see the advert
I'd
for
be-
the
Yeah.
walk-in bath.
My nerves would be frazzled. Oh, yeah. walking bath.
Well, people are upset. One man said he was having an office conversation about what he described.
He's got his walk-in bath advert with him.
He carries it around with
I
him.
carry it everywhere.
It's like your sweetheart that you
Yeah.
keep in your wallet.
You know when
Like
people
he's
used to
away
have-
at war or something.
Yeah, they used to have Betty
have a
Grable on the
This
locker.
entire yellow ribbon.
Betty Grable, was she the one who Steven Spielberg? That's Clark Gable.
Okay. Steven Spielberg, idiot.
Yeah,
How many years?
Steven
that?
Spielberg. Anyway,
real Burke.
one man said he was
Oh, I
having...
like it. One man said.
I know. One man said he was having an office conversation about, I quote, pretty confidential stuff.
Right.
And Alexa started laughing in the background.
They shouldn't really have Alexa turned on at GCHQ, should they?
But that could play havoc with your life. What if, with the Alexa laugh?
Well, if I
Imagine
found...
if a man was breaking up with you over the phone and you heard a woman going, oh, that happened to
Well,
me
it's
once.
more... then she'd definitely...
What if you've got Alexa set up in every room of the house and you're just about to have, let's just say, a night in, like if you're... If you're
I don't
undressing
like the night in.
to get into bed and then ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to bode well for future events, is
Well, I
it?
don't know about you. I'll take my laughs where I can get them. She's my dream partner. She
Just laughing.
doesn't moan about watching Doctor Who. She'll put the washing on and the stuff, do the housework, and she laughs at random
stuff. You love Alexa.
and she sounds about 70. She's perfect for me. Will it be will there be, we had this conversation earlier about Siri, will it be the voice of a person or will it be a conglomeration of neurons? And it won't be Chong.
Does
No, it's
Alexa
not Chong.
Chong's boyfriend have Alexa? That'll be confusing.
Oh,
Isn't
that
he
would
the
be weird.
second richest
Alexa,
man
shut
in
up.
France?
Oh, and I'll get sent me an apology via his daughter. Rather sweet and very unnecessary.
Oh, his daughter. What, did she arrive on horseback?
No,
Yeah.
they're on
Did you
their
not
way
see
to gymnastics.
Emily
It's
unwrapping that
complicated.
scroll.
On their way to... Okay. There's we get lots of stuff from parents who are on their way to sporting things with their kids. So it's
Yeah.
a standard...
It's good.
The whole of Britain on a Saturday and Sunday morning is parents taking kids to events.
Penguin Land's been in touch again.
Oh, yeah?
Stop saying it.
The Antarctic.
Yeah.
Stop saying Penguin Land. That's my advice. Where is Penguin Land? Have they mentioned that in their missile? I'm going to check it out.
Let me get my atlas.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be named like that, but it might be in... Siri.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shall I do it now?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Come on, Siri. Don't let me down.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
here.
what I thought.
Do you mean that's what I thought? I mean, that's the only thing there. Here we go. Bear with me. Where is Penguin Land, Siri?
I couldn't find any matching places.
Well, it didn't sound like you took that long over it.
Who? Me?
Well, yes, Penguin Land is definitely a place. Could you tell me where it is, please?
What kind of businesses are you looking for?
Well, the clue's in the title, in my opinion. It's a wildlife, flightless bird specialist area. Maybe you didn't get that.
Who? Me?
Yes. Penguin Land. Could you have another look, please?
That's what I thought.
Brilliant.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We were talking
About
Alexa, the talking home help.
And you called Siri
Is that what
live.
she is, the talking
Home help.
I think they
Personal assistant a moment ago, but Frank's
I
turned it
think
into
most
home
home
help.
helps. are
Meals on
talk.
Wheels from Alexa.
Can you still get Meals on Wheels? Is that still
Yeah,
a thing?
I think that's
Oh,
still a
can
thing.
you?
Brilliant.
You didn't have much joy with Siri.
No,
That
no.
Penguin Land.
I don't know if it's.
That's what I thought.
I had a toaster. I got
Congratulations.
I got rid of my toaster because it was, that classic childhood fear. If you get out of bed in the night, a hand will come from under the bed and grab you by the bare ankle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a toaster that wouldn't let the toast out. So there was something at the bottom that was holding the toast in. So
Oh,
I used to
right.
Oh, holding its legs.
I used to tussle with it.
A bit grabby on the bread.
You have
Yeah.
to keep. There must
Bit
have been
needy,
some bit of
the
metal, so
toaster.
I'd have to press it down again to get it to open, and then take it out while it was still red. And that's.
Did you ever discover what it was? It was just something wrong with the
In the
mechanism.
end, I got rid of it. I didn't want to go.
Okay.
I wasn't going to go down there. No,
It was just a needy toaster.
no way, Jose. That's what I said to myself. Or no way, Jose. If I was
Yeah.
talking to Jose Mourinho, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're definitely not. You've got Siri, but you would never get Alexa.
I don't never. I mean, I never say never. I bet Alexa was called Alex originally, and then they had an
Oh.
emergency
Yeah.
meeting and said we were going to have to come to this.
Yeah.
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 I'm surprised they didn't go the other way. What with the idea that it's an assistant, and we can't
Yeah.
call an assistant.
No, and I bet
Alexa.
they've got all.
Alexa,
They've
yeah.
got the
Basically, you
they
can't
got
do
the
that.
They should have
male
gone for
voice.
a-
I bet it had a male voice, and then he said, "Well, we'll have to get someone." There's an old lady lives next door to me, and there's always strange smells of frog.
She's
Frogs
absolutely
cooking.
fine, but she's got
Yeah.
a maniacal laugh. But other than
Yeah.
that, it'll be
Yeah, and a
flawless.
broomstick. Yeah, but I'll ask her. Yes, my sweet. I wonder if you could do a voiceover for me. Whoa, sure. What are your rates? Yeah.
I love the old lady aware of rates.
If you looked her up in Which Voiceovers, the popular magazine,
Yeah.
then that was.
Well,
that was
I'm
Do you get that? Do you subscribe to that?
Yeah.
Al?
Misunderstand.
I get
You-
various periodicals and.
Do you do
whose
voiceovers?
voice- No, I'm available though.
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Uh,
Do you, Frank?
Anyone's asking.
No, not.
I try not to.
You find it increases
Well,
your
since you-
self-loathing, don't you? But I
Well, ever since
I'm
the
fine with
exchange
that.
and Mart, don't know where to start days.
Don't know where to start. Exchange and Mart, obviously. Can you not say obviously? Oh, I'm just trying to get it. No, but can you not say that? Just stick to the script.
is this a thing that happened
Yes.
That was the other way around.
Frank did exchange and Mart.
I must have told you this now.
Did not
So
know
I
this.
said, okay, don't know where to start. Exchange and Mart. The guy come round, said, just a minute. He come into the box where I was doing it. He said, look, remember, these are people, you know all about Exchange and Mart. You know what it's got to offer. These people, they don't know where to. You're not being helpful. You're outraged. And he said, give it me. So I said, okay. Don't know where to start. No more. Give me more. I said, don't know where to start. What's the matter with you? And he said, no, hold on to that. Hold on to that rage. No, just take it down. Just take it down just take it down a bit. Don't know where, a little bit more. Just come down a bit more. Don't know where to stop. Lovely. We got it.
It's in the can.
3.5 hours. Sweating, dripping off me.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We're still talking about Alexa.
Stop saying it.
Okay, I'm doing it to be evil now.
8 penguins now have been beheaded by a
Beheaded?
machine that's supposed to just count them.
Oh,
What do
I
you
hate
make
that.
of those on the technology front? What do you make of those robot vacuums? Because they
Robot
frighten me.
vacuums?
Have you seen them?
Again, I haven't seen that.
oh,
The
what, the ones that
robotic
go around
cleaners.
cleaning
What's
people's
happened to me?
floors.
Tell you what they look like. They're little discs that spin around. They look
Right.
like one of the less successful Star Wars characters.
Oh, yeah.
The sort of Binks.
Is it called
characters.
like a floor bug or something like that?
Yeah, they're called, I believe they're called robot vacuum cleaners, but let's go floor bug. I like that.
Okay.
I like the,
Thank you for
the
accommodating
RVC.
me.
I've got an RVC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You program them and then they just do their thing. But they look evil. There's something dark and evil about them.
I
don't
used to
them.
like those robots in Yo Sushi that used to bring the drinks round. Do you
Oh, I
remember
miss
those?
those robots.
Oh, I don't know if I know about those.
They just
In
brought the
fact, no,
drinks to you.
I do
Oh,
know, I
everyone's
don't.
talking about them.
Robots.
The robots in Yo Sushi that used to bring the drinks round. That's the hot thing at the moment. I think it might be trending.
I don't think there's anything hot in your sushi, is there?
Well, you could. There's a hot menu.
Oh, I've made a fool of myself.
You have. Oh, I'm embarrassed
Thought
on
I was
your
being
behalf.
clever.
Yes, all right. No need to lose your tempura.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
Oh, yes. So, yes, I wondered if it could just be a thing to publicise this gadget because,
Oh, do you think
Right.
so?
well, is it generally heard of, would you say?
I think there's a lot of people that haven't heard of Alexa. Oops. I'm not saying it
But
again.
to stop saying it.
'Cause of the
Penguin Land's
penguins.
going to get upset with us.
You'd think Penguin Land would have told me where Penguin Land is, seeing
You'd
as I
think
had
they
no
might
joy
have.
out of Surrey.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Is it in the Surrey Isles? Carry on. That was rubbish. Don't laugh.
I liked it.
Don't laugh at that. No, I'm
No,
embarrassed.
hang
It
on,
had
you
come out.
can't-
I tried to grab it as it left my mouth. It's
You
too late.
can't
okay
start
with it,
saying
Frank.
don't laugh at that. It's not fair.
No.
Okay.
What if we are already?
Yeah.
Well, then obviously that's all right.
I don't like the gadgets that nag you. I don't like it when the fridge beeps if you leave the door open.
No way
for
to
too
talk
long.
about the missus.
My wife put in some reminders into my phone somehow. My son used
What
to
do
go
you
to
mean?
judo, so now
Oh.
every Thursday my phone will say, "Oh, judo." He hasn't been going for about 3 years, but my phone's still telling me that he goes.
But you're always happy to do a bit of judo if asked.
Yeah.
I'm pro it, but he's.
Any excuse to get on the mat.
I love the mat, but the tatami. As it's known, I don't really do judo, by the way. But anyway, but it's. I just don't like these gadgets constantly. That's why I haven't got Alexa or Siri, in case they just start telling me stuff that
Well,
then lasts forever.
I've got a Fitbit. It's always nagging me
Oh, I
about
don't
stuff.
like the idea of that.
Let's stroll. It says to me, feed me.
Does it?
says, yeah.
Does
it
it
means
really?
with steps.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
And then it'll say, oh, it's going off now. Oh, it's somebody calling me. It also tells me if somebody's calling me on my phone.
Oh.
I don't like it. I tried one. I can't remember what happened, but it activated. I think it was Siri. It suddenly said, call George Lamb. Well, I didn't want to be calling George Lamb. It was
It's
embarrassing.
an odd random name for it to come up with.
But it started calling him. That's what I don't like about those gadgets.
If I was George Lamb, I'd phone him up and say, can you take my name off it? It's a generic message that's coming out.
Was there a bit of you that was worried that Siri had read your mind? That you'd actually considered calling George Lamb and you just hadn't, like, it wasn't
Well, I'd
in...
just like to be prepared if I was going to call
I
George
think
What
Lamb.
am I going to say to him?
Yeah.
I'd call George Lamb in a case like that. I'm the sort of person who, I'm fairly obedient.
Right.
Would you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever in my life had an after 8 mint before 8 o'clock.
Oh, that is a real shame.
No,
because they are
that's
delicious.
it. I would have been great in an authoritarian state.
Right.
I just if that,
Your love of Russia.
I just do what I'm told. Basically, that's
I love
That's
that
it.
about you.
yeah, very popular in the S&M community.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
So you may remember last week I was talking about I was off to Watford, West Brom with a man I'd never met before in my
yes,
life.
You've met him
Do
on
remember
Grindr,
it.
hadn't you?
No,
Oh, okay.
it wasn't him.
Oh, what was the other guy? Sorry.
right.
It
Yeah.
wasn't him.
Yeah.
He this guy is a builder who Kath has been in negotiations with, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so he turned up at my house. I said, I didn't
Make
never
of
met.
that what you will.
We're saying nothing.
Yeah. I'd never. I'm very trusting. I met him.
I know.
So I just met him. He just came to my door, and he said, "Let's go." It's like a very genial kidnapping,
Yes.
if you can imagine that. So we got in the car, and off we went out to Watford.
How was the first hour? Conversation flow?
Well, we talked about football.
Oh.
You know, men together on the way to a football
Yeah.
match. We were okay with that.
Perfect.
Then we talked a bit about building.
Great.
Okay.
But then I met his 10 friends
Right.
because we were in like the hospitality at Watford.
Lovely.
And I'll tell you what was a man came round carrying what looked like a paddle, a wooden paddle.
Okay.
And I thought maybe there was, you could win a kayak.
Yeah.
You know, they have all sorts of competitions going on.
Uh-huh.
And when he got close, there was meat pies on it. He's carrying meat pies on a wooden paddle.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, this is it. So I had about 4 of those. And then,
He loves a freebie.
oh, yeah. And then the samosas came round on another paddle. You know the samosas?
Still sticking
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the paddle.
Yeah, I think in Dad's army, if the fleeing British troops had gone to the coast of India instead of back home, it would have been samosas that bobbed out off the coast at the Nazis. Do you think? Back me up.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so I had that, and then one of the guys said, "I think the food's going to be served in a minute." So
Oh, no.
these were like, I don't know what the meat
were all
pie,
there. They were
meat pies off a paddle was some sort of
Canape.
Yeah, it was exactly. It was like a meat ramp up to the meal. So then I went and got roast dinner.
No.
I mean, I was starting to sweat
It
off.
was your canapé hell, Frank.
It was. I
sounds
overdid
great.
It was free. I mean, they were. When I say these meat pies, they weren't full. They were, an individual pork pie.
Yeah.
Which I've always liked
a mini
that,
pork pie, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Like
a
a mel-
pork pie that's quite idiosyncratic.
Oh, okay,
It's got
yeah.
its own.
Yeah.
A bit of a loose cannon.
Yes, a maverick.
Novelty socks. That
Yeah,
kind
with
of
that,
pork pie.
but
Yeah.
but even so, 4 of them is a lot.
Plenty.
Yeah.
But it was great. But,
And did you get on with
You
the
know
man?
what? I did. He was a really nice bloke, and
What's he driving?
What is he driving?
Yeah.
Range Rover.
Wow.
That's a nice friend for you, Frank.
Yeah, well, and but it was quite.
Doing
tell-
very well in the building game.
Yeah.
I tell you what
Range
it
Rover.
was is they were. I mean, it was all blokes on the table,
Oh.
and there was no lewd. There was no lewd conversation, but there was a
More
lot.
blokes and a load of pork pies, 1973.
I know, yeah, and Watford West Brom.
Yeah.
I mean, but there was they were one bloke went to the toilet, and they took 200 photographs on his phone just of the table. It was a bit like
200.
yeah.
Wow.
So and the guy I was with told me that he went and left his gloves on the table, and when he come back, the fingers were full of sugar lumps.
Oh.
So it was.
Oh, what a sort of prankster. Yeah.
So I was going fully clothed with puffer, hat,
yeah,
scarf,
can
and
imagine.
everything on for a week. I was sweating. I mean, I'd
Yeah.
already had 4 meals. I had all my outdoor clothes on. But no, it was actually, it was lovely. I liked them.
Oh, he's got some new
Watford.
friends.
I mean, you with your show business life to have then gone to a Watford football game and thought the hospitality was worth discussing is amazing. Like,
Yeah,
you-
well, it was great, the hospital. And I met,
Really
the Albion chairman was there. I had a word with him. Luther Blissey, I chatted
Oh,
to.
nice.
And off-duty Harry Hornet, the mascot who came for a
Off-duty.
pie. Came for a pie after.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Head off, it's costume on.
No costume.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Off-duty.
okay. Taking
All
your head
right.
off.
He had to
good.
tell me who he was. I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, they keep a low profile. The non-uniform mascots.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say.
Oh, I'm glad you've got a nice new friend.
Well, it was a lovely day out actually, except we lost, of course.
Yeah.
But the parking will be
Still.
a lot easier next season.
Free pork pies.
Yeah, that's true. I'm really grateful that you listened this morning. There were parts where I thought, I'm not going to carry on listening to this, but you stuck with it, and I appreciate
Doing the
it.
review.
No, it was all right. I didn't mind it today. I thought it was all right.
I liked it.
Yeah, there were bits I liked.
Are we all good reviewers?
What was your best bit, do you think? Which bit did you enjoy
Well,
most?
What was the bit that we compared to the ballet link? I know I liked it when Al talked about chips.
A chips link.
I ended up liking that, oddly. what was your
I
favourite?
like having Siri on because
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well.
He's the first guest we've had on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He's the only guest we'll ever have.
I don't know. We might have
Alexa.
Alexa on
Stop
next
saying
week.
Alexa.
Yeah, it'd be great if I get off with her. So anyway, if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Now get out.
You're listening to the Frank Skinner podcast from Absolute Radio. Want your Frank fix a little sooner? Listen live every Saturday from 8 a.m. on Absolute Radio. Across the UK on digital radio, mobile apps, and in London and the South East on 105.8 FM.
Absolute Radio.